Chapter 2, WHIMIS Pictograms. What is a pictogram? A pictogram is a standardized symbol that serves as a quick visual alert to the user about the type of hazard a product presents. Each pictogram consists of a unique symbol on a white background, framed by a red diamond-shaped border. This universal design allows for immediate recognition of hazards, transcending language barriers and providing a critical first line of defense.
Canada's system
What
with the
pictograms
globally
are
harmonized
used?
system, the GHS. Canada's system
WHIMIS
with the globally
2015,
harmonized system,
which
the
aligns
GHS,
Canada's system with the
uses
globally
9 core
harmonized
pictograms to
system,
represent
GHS,
physical and health
uses 9
hazards.
core pictograms to represent
The physical
physical
hazard
and health
pictograms
hazards.
include
The physical hazard pictograms include flame for flammable materials, flame over circle for oxidizing hazards, exploding bomb for explosion or reactivity hazards, and gas cylinder for gases under pressure. The health hazard pictograms include skull and crossbones for acute toxicity, health hazard for chronic health effects like carcinogenesis, exclamation mark for less serious health effects, and corrosion for corrosive damage to metals, skin, and eyes. A 9th pictogram, the biohazardous infectious material symbol, is used for organisms that can cause disease in people. While an environment pictogram exists under GHS, it is not currently a mandatory part of WHIMIS. Exploding bomb. The exploding bomb pictogram warns of explosion or reactivity hazards. This symbol is used for products that are chemically unstable, self-reactive, or may react violently with water, releasing flammable gases or causing an explosion. This category includes organic peroxides, which are both flammable and reactive. The effects of an incident can be catastrophic, including severe trauma from blast waves and projectiles. Protective measures require extreme care in handling and storage, often requiring temperature control to prevent decomposition. These materials must be isolated from shock, friction, heat, and incompatible substances. Using blast shields and maintaining minimum quantities in the work area are essential safety practices to mitigate risk. Flame. The flame pictogram signifies materials that are flammable, posing a significant fire hazard. These substances can ignite easily from sparks, open flames, or even just heat from friction. This class includes flammable gases, aerosols, liquids like gasoline and solvents, and solids, as well as self-reactive substances that can decompose and burn without air, and self-heating materials that can ignite when exposed to air over time. The primary risks are severe burns, injuries from explosions, and widespread fire damage. To protect against these hazards, it is crucial to store these materials away from ignition sources and oxidizers in a cool, well-ventilated area. Protective measures include using non-sparking tools, ensuring proper grounding and bonding during transfer to prevent static discharge, and having appropriate firefighting equipment, such as Class B fire extinguishers readily available. Oxidizing hazards. The oxidizing hazard symbol identifies oxidizing hazards. These products are not necessarily combustible themselves, but they can release oxygen or act as oxygen contributors, which will cause or intensify a fire and make it burn more fiercely. Oxidizing gases, liquids, and solids can significantly increase the risk of explosion when in contact with flammable or combustible materials. The main danger is the rapid escalation of a fire, making it difficult to control. Protective measures involve storing oxidizers separately from flammable materials and fuels. Workers should wear appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, including fire-resistant clothing and eye protection, and ensure all equipment and containers are kept clean and free of any contaminating residues that could react. Gas cylinder. The gas cylinder pictogram is used for gases under pressure. These can be compressed gases, liquefied gases, dissolved gases, or refrigerated liquefied gases like liquid nitrogen. The primary physical hazards are cylinder rupture or explosion if the container is damaged or exposed to heat. For refrigerated gases, there is an additional risk of severe cryogenic burns or frostbite upon contact with skin. Protective measures include securing cylinders properly with chains or straps to prevent them from falling, storing them in a cool, well-ventilated area away from heat, and always using the correct regulators and fittings. Workers must wear PPE such as safety glasses, gloves, and safety shoes when handling cylinders. Corrosion. The corrosion pictogram warns of materials that cause corrosive damage. These substances can cause severe skin burns and eye damage upon contact. They are also corrosive to metals, potentially damaging equipment and storage containers, which can lead to dangerous leaks or structural failures. The effects on human tissue are immediate and can result in permanent scarring or blindness. Robust protective measures are critical, including the use of corrosion-resistant equipment. Workers must wear comprehensive PPE, including chemical-resistant gloves, aprons, boots, and face shields or safety goggles. Emergency eye wash stations and safety showers must be readily accessible in any area where these materials are used. Skull and crossbones. The skull and crossbones symbol indicates products with acute toxicity or poisonous materials. These substances can cause serious health effects, including death or toxicity, aka poisoning, from short-term exposure to even small amounts. Exposure routes include ingestion, inhalation, or skin contact. The effects can range from nausea and dizziness to organ failure, seizures, and rapid death. Stringent protective measures are mandatory, including the use of engineering controls like fume hoods or local exhaust ventilation to prevent inhalation. Workers must wear appropriate PPE, which may include chemical-resistant gloves, aprons, and respiratory protection depending on the specific material in question and the information contained in the datasheets. Strict hygiene practices such as prohibiting eating or drinking in areas where these materials are handled are essential to prevent accidental ingestion. Health hazard. The health hazard pictogram represents a range of serious longer-term, that is chronic, health effects. This symbol warns of products that may cause or be suspected of causing serious health effects such as carcinogenicity, which is cancer, respiratory sensitization, which is asthma, reproductive toxicity, which is infertility or harm to an unborn child, organ toxicity, which is damage to liver, kidneys, etc. after single or repeated exposure, or mutagenicity, which is genetic defects. The effects often develop slowly over time and may be irreversible. Protective measures focus on minimizing all exposure. This includes using engineering controls, wearing proper PPE as specified by the SDS, which may include respirators and specific glove types, and implementing strict hygiene measures to prevent carryover outside the work area. Exclamation mark. The exclamation mark signifies less serious health hazards. This symbol is used for products that may cause reversible health effects such as skin or eye irritation, skin sensitization, dizziness or drowsiness. It also covers substances that are harmful if swallowed or inhaled, and those that cause narcotic effects. While the effects are typically not life-threatening, they can cause significant discomfort and injury. Protective measures include using good general ventilation, wearing chemical splash goggles, gloves, and other protective clothing to prevent skin and eye contact. Workers should be trained to recognize the symptoms as exposure and to practice good hygiene after handling these products. Biohazardous infectious materials. The biohazardous infectious material symbol is used for organisms or toxins that can cause disease in people or animals. This includes microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi, as well as cultured human or animal cells and certain nucleic acids. Exposure can lead to serious, potentially fatal infectious diseases. Protective measures are based on strict containment procedures as outlined in the SDS and relevant biosafety guidelines. This typically involves the use of biological safety cabinets, autoclaving for waste decontamination, and the use of personal protective equipment like lab coats, gloves, and appropriate respiratory protection. Vaccination may be recommended for certain agents, and rigorous decontamination and hand washing protocols are mandatory. Hazards requiring pictograms. While most hazard classes are assigned a pictogram, some specific categories within a class may be communicated through text warnings on the label and SDS. For example, certain categories of acute toxicity may not require the skull and crossbone pictogram, but will still have clear hazard statements describing the risk. Where pictograms are found. Pictograms are a key feature of hazard communication and appear in several places. They are prominently displayed on supplier labels attached to the original container. If a product is decanted into another container, a workplace label that includes the appropriate pictogram or a clear hazard description must be applied. Finally, pictograms are also found in Section 2, Hazard Identification of the SDS Safety Data Sheet. Conclusion. WHMIS pictograms serve as a universal, quick visual language for identifying the types of hazards a product presents. The 9 core symbols effectively communicate the risks of physical dangers like fires and explosions, as well as health dangers ranging from acute toxicity to long-term chronic effects. Knowing what each pictogram means, where to find them, and the specific hazards they represent is a fundamental skill for any worker, forming the first and most immediate line of defense against the dangers posed by hazardous materials.